because she was already supposed to have
about to do
a
some
little
more roast
picnic
mix type
for her
thing.
mom, and it was just going to be one of those
So
picnics where it's like, mom, because
yeah,
it's just like, who's that behind you? It's Mark. Oh, wow.
I know there was one year
Before
before.
YouTube, so it wasn't
So
gone viral.
let's see what it's at before.
And
And,
Sarah's mom
got me
thinking it'd be like a cute little thing to like
some
tee up
fancy
what they're about to do. Balls.
I don't know.
Don't call
I
Sarah.
meant to
Just to be
grab
like,
rigatoni. I got something called Peony Rigi Rigi. I don't know what this is, but yeah,
I was just
that going
wondering.
on.
Just,
I don't
a
know
little
what's over
primer for
there,
the
but
surprise, right? And so she calls her, and she's on speakerphone, and Sarah picks up, and she's like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Excited for a picnic. Oh, so am I. Have you talked to Mark today? No, we haven't talked today. And honestly, it's probably important that we do because I know." No, I don't know. I feel like it's just hard. I feel like the spark is like gone. Like it's just, and maybe you went through this thing with dad, but just, I don't know, like, now he's gone, and I'm like, all right, this doesn't really feel like it used to or anything. And even when he gets back, I'm like, not that excited. I'm excited. I don't know. Like, it's probably.
that's a water boy.
I should probably get a divorce. Like, if I've been feeling this way for so long. He says, Mom.
Go to these guys.
You know when you can't cringe enough? I've never been driving for it, but like I imagine that steering wheel was going through it. She had to be gripping that thing. Like the car was about to take off and fly away. And she goes, "Well, um, sweetie, Mark's with me now." And Mark goes, "Hey, honey." And she goes, "Oh, do you think we should get a divorce?" And it's like, do you even care? Take it on speakerphone. I okay. I'm not like a tough guy. Sometimes I've like wanted to be a tough guy before. Especially when I was like little, I wanted to be like, yeah, tough. I break the rules sometimes. And I mean, I have a pen, and walk right up to I walk to like a white wall and be like, vandalism, and deal with it. Like I want to like be bad, but it's I don't even have it. Even now, like I've never done a drug, don't rape or anything. One time I was like, you know what? Why should I deprive myself? Everybody seems like they're having so much fun. You know what I'm gonna do? I have a virgin margarita. I wonder what the flavor is. I think I'll have another. To the point where I did get sick. I got sick off virgin margaritas. And like real sick too. Like called my friends. I also said I was with some friends. I called other friends. I called friends like, y'all been drunk before. Y'all had your vendors and everything. I don't have any alcohol in me, but I got like the other half. I got like all the sugars. My stomach hurt.
About to mess up.
Oh, and like, look, I don't like that it happens, but I was not throwing up. I was just saying ooh a lot because it felt like I was gonna throw up. So I kept being like, oh, because then you know when you think you're about to throw up, so you start arguing with yourself, where you're like, tell my friend, oh, I don't, and then like, you need to take you to the hospital. I don't know if I live down. I don't know if I could live down being rushed to the hospital on virgin margaritas. Maybe having to get my stomach pumped off virgin margaritas because I ingested a childish amount of sugar. But they were like, I called my friend. And they were like, do you need us to take the hospital? I was like, who is us? And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, you're on speakerphone. There's no way to take this cool back off speakerphone. I was so embarrassed. I was on speakerphone, and then I muted. I don't know, I was thinking I was drunk on virgin margaritas. You need help figuring out how to style your studio apartment? You can just ask Google for ideas that match both your taste and the space. 250 square feet never felt so spacious. Home Sweet Studio. What's all the goats? Goat. George's outstanding attorney game? You've been injured in a car crash? Call George Senior Attorney Lawyers and get the goat on your side. Call all 9 now.
This should not be the hard to get into.
Physically improved luminous skin in 14 days. New Olay Super Serum Body Wash.
Child mouth or something. Oh, shit, bro.
Oh. But those are the things that I've been thinking about because it's been watching what happened. You know, whether you like Jimmy Kimmel or not, whether you watch the show, whether you care about his show or him or like, oh, it's television. I've heard all the excuses. The excuses came quick. The excuses came quick because it's unprecedented. And when things are unprecedented, you wonder if should you do something. And you don't have to do anything if there's an excuse. You don't have to do anything if it's okay. I've heard people, oh, well, I'm sure they were losing money anyway. No. Oh, well, I don't really like what he said. What he said? Oh, no, this thing is a long time coming because how he's been acting. How he's been acting. No, because you think about who actually cares about like who's an actual absolutist and who's just trying to like get in, trying to sneak in. You know, because there are some people who have some heinous things to say, and they want people to say those things, and they use free speech, and they're angry. That's their hint. They let themselves in that way. But then, when it's their turn to talk, what they actually want is for other people to not be able to talk. That's what they wanted for a long time. Like, I'm blown away about a thing that we've done since I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, it was explained to me that we had all these sorts of rights, and that these rights we fought for, and that these rights were things that we had that other people didn't have. There are other people in other countries that weren't as fortunate to have the rights that we have, right? And there's always been something that bothered me about that sentiment, about that idea. Because your freedom, your freedom is it's yours because it's yours. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can make you as free as you were born. Life gives you freedom. You're supposed to be free. You're supposed to be able to say the things that you're saying. You're supposed to be able to express yourself. The government can't give you freedom. They can definitely try to take things away, but even within what it tries to take away, it can't really take it away because the freedom wasn't given to you by the government to take away. Government you could buy a house at auction. Let's say somebody fell behind on their property taxes, so now their property's up for auction. You buy it, then you fall behind on those same property taxes. Government takes it away. It was never really yours. Freedom doesn't work that way. And so we walk around and we talk about how we have all these freedoms. These are freedoms, and they're not from a government. These are God-given things. These are things that you were born with. These are things that nobody can take away. Even if they try. Look, they tried with people throughout history. And there are people that live in a world without those freedoms, right? But even the resistance to express yourself is still your freedom trying to like sprout out of all of that cover. Your freedom is yours. I can't stress it enough. It's like saying, government, let me keep all my toes. Well, the government can only try to take away toes. They don't really hand out toes. It feels like you're giving the government an awful lot of credit. It's your freedom. It was given to you by something that outlasts all this stuff. You know what I mean? And it can't really be taken away. You can be manipulated, and you can be scared. You can be angry enough, like some people are angry enough, to let someone's freedom of speech be taken away. You can be fearful. You can be so fearful that just the threat of an investigation, just the threat of some sort of government overreach makes you cave before there's even a solidified threat there. You know, you have fear, you have the anger, you can have a hate that goes deeper than an anger. You can be so confused about what's going on, you just want someone to make a definitive statement about anything. You'll just go with it because you hate not knowing, you hate uncertainty.
Oh.
And then you see something like what happened to Jimmy Kimmel happen. And then you see people ask, is this really happening? Because it was never supposed to be able to happen here. And it's because of a lie that we told ourselves. We told ourselves that every country and everyone was different from us. Which is why we don't recognize ourselves when things that are only supposed to happen in other places happen here. You know? That's low-key the American way. The American way is to be like, well, look, of course it would happen there. It's because they're not over here. And it's like, no, whatever it is, happened over there because it can happen anywhere, especially if you're not vigilant, especially if you think that things won't happen to you just because. There is no more just because. Is this really happening? Yes, it's happening. As wild as it may seem, as surreal as it is, you know, it's coming, and it's coming fast, like a turtle that shouldn't be on a mountain. Is this happening? Yes, it's happening. This is happening. There's no way around it. The people who are okay with it are okay with it for now. But there are plenty of people that I don't even like, that have the presence of mind to know that this is not just crazy, this is unacceptable. This cannot happen here. It can't happen here.
Shit, my bad.
This is the other scary thing about government. I'm not just trying to
Gotcha. Who that is? I can't feel it. Shit. Julie. Okay, Julie, Mika. Denise, what's happening? What's happening? I have some chicken right there.
I'm telling you what they're saying, right? Pendulum swing, and one thing that governments don't do, hardly any government does, is give back the power it took in some way. You know what I mean?
Pretty cool stuff, huh? Look at that.
If you give them these
Pretty cool
things,
stuff.
they will be given and taken for good.
Oh.
There's no way around it. And we've already seen you cannot do enough. You will not be good enough. You won't be complacent enough. You can't placate enough to make it stop. It will not stop. They came for a white man with money. Do you know how nervous that makes a black guy? They came for a white man with money. They really didn't do anything. And when I say really didn't do anything, people can go back and forth about trying to cherry pick or like the phrase of a thing, or here's what I thought he said when he said whatever. That does not matter. That actually gets us into a conversation we shouldn't even be in because it shouldn't even be on the table. All right? It is not going to just go away, and it's not going to just stop. So then it's important. It's important. Do you care? Because if you care, that's very different. If you're scared, it's understandable. Plenty of people are scared. People with money are scared. NBC was scared. Disney was scared. You know Disney. Oh, you know Disney. Disney was scared. Disney, the same people who come up from behind you and you draw a picture of Mickey and go, change the fair use laws and we'll make this illegal. Those people were scared. Being scared is human. But not doing anything is a choice, and not making your voices heard, and not you don't just take for granted what's happening. I think that there's, in my opinion, not enough alarm bells sounding. You know what I mean? Because we all saw it, but it's like in a hush, in a whisper, and I'm wondering why that is. Because this man still loses in court. Just today, a judge threw out some $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. When these things go to court, they don't not just win. They don't prevail. They don't proceed because under the law they are illegal. You know, and any sort of strong arming by the government should really sound the alarms for any citizen.
It did on January 6th, man.
Swing governments do not give back power that they've taken. 9/11 was a long time ago. When did we get our privacy back? You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
So it happened. If it happened with privacy and then became normal and you didn't really care, the same thing could happen with speech. All of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I guess I should get Grok to proofread my sentiments on the day. You're not alone in being worried, you're not alone in being fearful, you're not alone in being angry. The thing about not being alone is that you just have to find the other people. You have to find the other people who feel the way that you feel, and you have to stay in communion with them as strong as you can. Because it's the other people who feel the way you feel that will stop you from feeling crazy. And it is the only thing. That's the only thing that will, you know, if you keep the phone in your face, you will feel like you're losing your mind. Because it's all happening so fast, all happening all the time. Like, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not. I almost die off virgin margaritas. And I screamed. I screamed. I screamed. And I ran from a turtle. But I can't run from this, and neither can you. I love you all, and we have each other, okay? Thank you all so much. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks to this waterfront hotel on Booking.com, even Yankees fans are loving Boston.
Oh, no, we're giving tabs on our rivals.
So many choices, you can be a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash with 10 times more vitamin B3 complex
That's a lot. It's so much you wonder, should I? That's how it gets you. You know, growing up my entire life, I knew people who played the lottery. And I don't know if I know any winners. I just know a few people went missing. And like hard missing too, not even a funeral. I don't know. $1.8 billion. That means even after they tax you, taxes don't take about half of that, right? Even after they tax you, you're probably gonna be a billionaire. That instantly, a billionaire. And I'm not saying this to like, you know, beat down on anybody or be disparaging, but it's like, who plays the lottery? People who need the money. So imagine needing money and then becoming a billionaire in like a day. A day. You needed 252. You had raised that car note, and now you're a billionaire. A billion. You gotta capitalize the biggest $1 billion. Even if they get you real good, even if they tax you to death, you're still high millionaire. And with some good investments, you'll hit billionaire over time. Look at. I don't think y'all understand. We think we understand what billion is because billionaires keep playing in our faces. But we have no like comprehension of how much money that is because we're people.
Now listen.
Forget like a billion. You can't even waste that. $1 billion. You can imagine. Oh, that's a bad investment. $1 billion's worth of bad investments? That's enough to topple a small country. Because I look at the billionaires of the world and the high millionaires, so almost billionaires of the world. And in a couple of the examples that I'm thinking of, right? If you make it to billionaire status, whether it's the valuation of your country or like your company, or whether it's the valuation of your company or just general assets and everything over time, if you hit that billion status and you didn't grow up with a ton of money, like if you're already a billionaire, it almost doesn't count. You know, you'll see billionaires, they're the sons of billionaires, and they'll be like, I made my own thing. It's like, you didn't know. But you didn't. Like, you never really did anything. Like, it's, and look, I know you probably worked really hard, but your hard work had a $1 billion head start to it. So it's just, you know, you could make a bad idea worth $1 billion. If you put enough money behind it with enough time. Look at Crocs. That's not me just dunking on Crocs for the sake of it. I'm saying as a shoe, you are so unprepared to go into the world. Every time it rains, you kind of feel it. I've had so many fights with my friends over Crocs, and it's not about the Croc or the design or whatever. It's about the fact that it's a Swiss cheese shoe. The holes make it a shoe problem. It is not like Crocs. Okay, I live in New York, and we have far too many. I don't even know the number. We have more, I believe, rats than people. I'm pretty sure there's probably 10 million for every 2 people in New York. And one time I was walking with my friend who had Crocs on. Ill-advised, especially in New York.
I'm missing something.
If you want to wear Crocs in like I don't know, like a beachy town, go ahead. Be comfortable. Let your feet breathe. Wearing Crocs in New York City. Wearing Crocs in New York City is like wearing a shirt that on the front and the back says, "Please rob me." That's the level of prepared you are to go out into New York City when you're in Crocs. My friend was in Crocs, and we were just walking down the street, okay? Just nice little stroll, having a conversation. And then, as you would expect when you were walking in New York, as it is almost law, when you were walking in New York, a rat ran across our path. Some people have to deal with deers in the road. We have to deal with rats on the street. And this rat running across our path judged it wrong. Was a little late. You know, usually when you're walking in New York, a rat will run across your ass up ahead. This rat must have had some hesitation. You can tell this rat was like,
Look, you see what time it is. It was 9 o'clock. About to flip out. Y'all, I'll be back. 10 o'clock. And we'll see this thing turn over. So I'll come back. Be advised. Work in the morning, we gotta go to sleep. Do some cookies tomorrow. Do some cookies early in the morning. Do some cookies. I gotta go to the store first, so the store, then you do some cookies. It's happening on your lunch break.
People might trip, be a little embarrassed, but we get up and we know we have a day to continue. If a rat gets tripped up in your crock, that's the rat's whole priority right now. Because to be fair to rats, they get trapped all the time. How is this rat supposed to know this isn't one of those rat traps that take you to rat heaven? And so this rat starts freaking out. It starts like trying to pull the other leg out and everything, but then the next leg gets stuck. And so now this rat it has been 0.0 seconds, by the way. This rat has already tripped and is stuck in 2 crack holes. And is over there fighting for his life to get out. It's doing whatever he can. This rat over here is like, And look, I'll be honest with you right now. I don't even know if I imagined it, but I swear I heard it. I heard when the rat got free because I heard the little pulled the little foot out of the crock hole and then ran away. And then my friend, who had just been defending his Crocs, had the nerve to be like, oh, oh. I'm like, yeah, cut it off. You need to cut it off. Ran over my foot too, but look at me. Intact. you know? And it happens usually over time. Usually, if you don't make the money, you reach a billionaire status or high billionaire 20, 30 years of your life. And being a psycho as well, like working 80-hour weeks and like just doing crazy stuff. And sometimes you get to get ahead because you cut some corners or you keep some people or whatever it is. But then when you turn around and you have this like multi-billion dollar valuation, you did it. And it took all that time, but like you're 30 years removed from when you started. These billionaires, these millionaires, the ones that don't come from like extreme wealth, takes 20, 30 years of your life to get that money. And look how able they are. I can only imagine. I can only imagine what happens if you get it in a day.
I'm probably gonna dip out real quick.
Look, for any amount of lottery winnings
Back.
and for any amount of like money, when you dream about money, that's what we do. Someone said, well, if you win $100 million, and you might even have a list already.
So I had to leave that in there for at least an hour and a half.
And you know,
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
I think you know
Yeah.
what you would do. I'm
I'm a
not
slow
saying
scroll.
that people are
Scroll, go, got that white scroll,
I
scroll,
believe
got that
that
in.
people really believe
Oh,
this
go
what they
ahead.
would do with the money. But they
Twist me
are
up and down.
there in a day. Nothing can prepare you for that.
Salad.
Nothing can prepare you for that much money. Money being that much
I ain't
power
in
in
them, but
a
I
day.
come right back though.
I don't know, like